I would have had my crap together. We had technical issues before, and I would have had it together. But dang it, I had to choose late night dinner over solving this crisis. All right, blame my stomach.
Wow, Austin, you sound a lot more like Ash tonight. That's crazy.
I don't know. My mom tried to kill me with a chicken sandwich today.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool.
My mom gave me food poisoning with a shrimp puff one day, so.
So you know,
Okay.
just like
Yay.
mothers be trying to kill their children. That's all good.
Yeah, it's fine.
They brought you in.
It's the part of life.
Yeah.
They brought you into this world. They'll take it out. That's their defense.
Well, it's like Star Wars. Only two there could be a master and apprentice, and we have to. One kills the other. That's how it works. So.
Gotcha.
I'm trying.
I'm not even gonna give a fuck. I'm just gonna tag you, Ash, and then we're just gonna call it a day.
Woohoo!
Oh my god! I hope the editor changes the name of the stream in time.
Okay, now I can do that on my thing.
I'm gonna make our names pariahs on the internet. Our title is Phanatic Live in Defense of Boruto.
I'm not.
You're the one. You're the one guy.
You're the one guy who watches Boruto.
So, there we go.
There's a one person for everything, and that's you, Jake.
Listen, my thoughts on Boruto might surprise you.
Okay. Anyway, want to kick this off, guys?
Yeah, I just updated.
Cool. Welcome to Comic Fanatic Live. You're here with me, CryptidZeeker415. That's all the intro you need from me.
Well, you have me, Jake Talonal, Shinobi of the Leaf, the watcher of Star Wars Rebels, finisher of Clone Wars. And I'm here to tell you, Clone Wars is not as great as everyone keeps saying this.
I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and the moment you guys let me talk about Castlevania Nocturne, aka Wednesday, it's gonna be over for all of you guys. Olrock is too hot for me to keep that to myself.
Yeah, and as always, I'm their guest, Ash, aka the Miss Marvel historian, aka also the Ryan North certified Johnny Storm simp, because he has yet to certify another simp on the internet, and it's just me.
Now, it's come to my attention that for whatever reason our chat is disabled. So.
Oh no.
That's so weird. Oh my god, I'm sorry, guys.
It's technical. It's a ghost.
Oh wait.
It's Austin haunting us.
Yeah, we just blame it all on ghosts. Let's.
Austin's still pissed off that I'm making him wear a pink tie to this fake wedding. He's like, why do you get to wear a hanbok and the rest of us have to wear ties? Well, not all of you guys are wearing ties. One's wearing a bow tie, and I put Jake in a giant bow.
Okay.
Covered by confetti.
I can't.
Chat should be active. But which do you want to plug in our socials now?
Yeah. Okay. Hi. You can follow. You can follow the Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. We do postings on there sometimes. Why not? You can get links to all of the former lives. Woo! You can also follow the Instagram at Comic Fanatic 2.0. I do plan on posting some art on there. I just don't know when. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U on Twitter. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at witch_of_Jotunheim. I literally just posted some new cosplay stuff if you're interested. And yeah, Ash, plug in your socials.
So on YouTube, I'm Ash Danger. On everywhere else, I am a weird Homestuck name. So at H3Y D4V3, otherwise known as Hey Dave, because Homestuck took over my life when I was like 10, and then I accidentally built an internet brand around that, and I have yet to try and change it.
That's me with like Castlevania. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, our YouTube chat is still not working. I can try to fix it in the background. I have no idea what's wrong with it. So.
Gotcha.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, in the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about the topics of the week, starting with the media news. I'll start us off. What was it?
It's Masters of the Universe.
Oh.
All right, Masters of the Universe Revolution first look. Any thoughts, guys? Did you guys see it?
That's the hee man, right?
Yes, that's the hee man. Yes.
Everybody, just so everyone's clear, and if you're watching this now, the chat should be. It is back up. Okay, I figured out what happened.
Cool.
We'll know when Comic Fanatic pulls up.
If he hasn't already left, because we didn't have the chat up. Sorry.
That's true. Sorry, Castro.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, did anybody here see the first teaser of it?
Does it look like I really care about He-Man?
I did not see it. What, Revolution? Is it Revolution?
Revolution, yeah.
Revolution.
Is She-Ra in it?
No, which they shouldn't, based on the reception of last season. So,
I mean, I'm just saying. I was like, I don't know what else you can get me to be interested in this. Was it good?
Give us a He-Man show. That's what everybody wants.
And they got their He-Man show, and they also got a She-Ra show.
No. The last season, that was not a He-Man show. That was a Teela show, which is what everybody was complaining about.
Keep in mind, it wasn't even called He-Man. It was called Masters of the Universe. It wasn't even.
It's not He-Man.
He-Man.
The problem was they promised it was a He-Man show.
Yeah,
but
okay, that was the same series that made Prince Adam go from twink to twunk. So I don't want to hear shit right now.
But it was on the so the marketing basically promised it was a He-Man show. If I remember, it was like straight up asked. He was like, "Yeah, He-Man's gonna be in the show."
For like 2 minutes.
So.
Oh yeah.
He-Man was definitely in the show.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
For how long?
He was in it.
Yeah. They wanted to win by technicality.
Dude,
but
I was watching Blood of Zeus when that He-Man show came out. Okay.
Damn.
Which I liked Blood of Zeus. I hope we get another season, which I heard rumors about, by the way.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, going to this teaser, it's about, from what we saw in the glimpse, it's He-Man versus Scareglow, and He-Man's father tags along, who's using almost like a Hulkbuster-like armor. And this will be fine in itself, but we all gotta remember what happened in the controversy of last time, where you had He-Man in all the marketing and all the commercials and all the trailers and the posters, front and center, action-packed, only for the series to sweep you under the rug with something else,
That's how they get you.
And looking at the comment section, oh yeah, everybody's still hurting from that,
Okay, I'm not gonna trust the comment section full of a whole bunch of cis white middle-aged men. I'm not gonna trust.
Listen. I believe that people can learn from their mistakes. Does that mean I will give this a second chance? I don't know. I would have to be interested in it. I really don't care.
I didn't even watch the first season. I'm just thinking in my head Michael Jackson's hee hee.
I just think of that one video that came out in the late 2000s. You know what I'm talking about.
But I think what's going to end up happening with this, it's going to go the same way as that CGI He-Man show we got. The one that was pretty much Big Hero 6. Yeah. A lot of people like that show. Unfortunately, late in the game, because nobody even wanted to give that show a chance, even though the people who actually did give it a chance said, hey, this is actually a refreshing take on He-Man,
I couldn't get behind the He-Man body. It was just not fun.
You got used to it.
Yeah.
You got used to it, man. I mean, I just got won over by the stories and the characters. I like the redesign. Well, I like the reinterpretations of certain characters, like Ram Man. This version is actually Rampage, and I really like that shit for her.
I mean, like I said, you did the correct thing. Give the show an honest chance, and I did. It's just that I liked what I saw. It was just not interesting. I didn't want to come back to it because it wasn't interesting enough to look at, but I did like what I saw. If that makes sense. So
when I watched that first season, all I thought was, "Oh my God, Grayskull's kind of hot." That's all I thought. And then I let and then
Wait,
I went
which
to go
one
finish
did-
Blood of Zeus.
Wait, like the
Wait.
castle?
No, the guy,
Okay.
like the actual guy.
I got very concerned for a second. I was like,
No,
I'm not
that delusional.
Great.
Not that
Castle
delusional.
Grayskull was named after an actual person, you know?
I'm talking about the actual person in the show.
Which said, "I'm gonna plow that castle."
I don't plan on plowing anything, but I'll plow your mom.
hey.
Anyway, learn from your mistakes, Kevin. Make this a He-Man show. Put it front and center. All right. So
Make
that's it.
He-Man kiss men.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Make him
You want to insult? You salt to the wound. Salt to the wound.
Make it all about He-Man, but he's kissing men.
Make him a real He-Man.
You guys really want to destroy this franchise.
Hey, if they can make everyone in She-Ra gay, I think they can make a couple people in He-Man gay.
We can go back. Listen. No one's watching the show anyway. Just come on, crazy. Who cares?
I'll watch it just for that.
All right, but you ready?
All right, go. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Who wants to do this one?
Tombraider, The Legend of Lara Croft.
Yeah, he said.
I was never a Tomb Raider fan, so you guys take this.
I'm not either.
Listen. All that the new reboot Lara Croft, that game is like okay. But y'all don't know how crazy old Lara Croft was. Like the Tomb Raider franchise, that was crazy.
Those games are fun.
I was playing the first game. It's like an open world giant puzzle type thing. And my first boss in the game was me fighting a T-Rex with like 2 guns. Okay? Doing karate action flips and matrix dodges, dodging like a T-Rex that was trying to kill me. That was wild.
It was like Spider-Man before the Spider-Man games came out. Like, Spider-Man with guns.
Yeah, you can even swing across platforms.
Give Spider-Man guns.
It was really you solving platforming puzzles and actually, trying to infiltrate a tomb. So there was a lot of physics-based puzzles. Hard game. People would not have the patience for it today. And I didn't have the patience for it either. But I loved playing it when I could. So, so there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Lara Croft to set her aside from Indiana Jones or Uncharted and stuff like that. So, to do a series like that sounds pretty cool.
Hey, there's Comic-Cons.
Hi, Comic-Con.
Nice to have you with us, man.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, what are y'all expecting from this Lara Croft project?
I actually did see some stuff for this. I heard that it's going to be mixing the stuff from the old and the stuff from the reboot, so all fans are going to be happy, I think. But I don't really care that much. I'm not a Lara Croft stan. No offense, but I am a Castlevania stan number 1.
Only other news piece I heard about this was the fact that they casted Haley Atwell to voice Lara Croft. You know what? Hey, British. There you go.
No. Lara Croft's supposed to have a British accent. Okay, that's the original Lara Croft. Okay. At least that's what I remember.
Every single time I hear Haley Atwell, I just internally yeah.
Same.
I think of Peggy Carter. What do you have against her?
A lot of things.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has to defend this damn take, man.
I feel like overall, like even separate from Haley Atwell just being kind of like misogynistic towards Emily Van Camp, the character of Peggy Carter, I think just overstayed her welcome way too much. If it was just Agent Carter the show, I would have a very different opinion. But now it's like Captain Carter's being put in everything, and I'm just like,
I'm so sick and tired of seeing Captain Carter, bro.
I loved Agent Carter the show. I loved Agent Carter the character, but yeah, I do agree with the whole Captain Carter thing kind of overstayed the welcome.
It's a step too far. And
Ash, you want to know what my reaction was when I saw her die in Multiverse of Madness?
It was cheering, wasn't it?
I laughed.
I was good. I was like,
you did too.
No,
I don't even like MCU Wanda.
I was okay with Captain Carter in the MCU, but the death nail to her character in Multiverse of Madness was the moment she said, "I can do this all day," and I'm like, "Kill her."
Kill her off.
That
the moment
that's what that's
that
what.
Krasinski opened his mouth as Reed Richards, I was like, "Yup, no, kill
Mhm.
them all. Just kill them all."
Yeah,
Get
but
rid
no,
of 'em.
Can't say the same about Blackguard Boltigan. Best
Oh,
part
he
of that
didn't really do
movie.
anything.
yeah,
So,
I was so happy they gave him justice. I know he died, but you know what? I took that sweet piece of Hershey Kiss chocolate for all it's worth. You know.
I with that movie, it's very funny seeing like the completely different reaction from like Reed Richards fans and like Peggy Carter fans versus
Mhm.
Blackguard Boltigan fans because we were
I
just
think they're
happy
just
he was
happy that he's
there.
finally getting some representation.
I
We
was just
got
happy he was there.
we
I was
got
like,
to see him.
"Whoa!"
We got to see him in a proper costume, and we got to see actual good effects for his voice. Yes.
That's all we needed. It was
Yeah.
done.
It
Yeah.
was so funny. I
Mhm.
swear. People
You
thought
could
they were going to see
you
Tom
could
Cruise as
say
Iron Man, or like I was hoping for Namor, but I was able to
you
wait.
could say that out of all the fans, the Black Bolt fans are the quietest.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. I just love how we went from this whole Lara Croft discussion all the way to the MCU talk. Like,
It always comes back
yeah.
around.
He said Haley
But
Atwell, and I just
Haley
that's the
Atwell,
only thing
just
I know her for.
like I don't know Haley Atwell personally aside from her works with as Carter. So yeah, that's what I take her as. That's it. You know. I mean, I know
Anyways,
she's it.
Dan Sharon Carter.
I know she has a. She comes from a family of ventriloquists. That's it. But yeah,
Wait, she does?
yeah, she knows a little bit of ventriloquism.
That's crazy.
Hmm. But yeah,
Anyways,
any final thoughts here?
it's happening.
Okay.
As if they keep like the the nice gameplay aspect from the first games, but make Lara Croft's outfits better, then that's all I need. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I expect from anything Tomb Raider.
I love the feel of the original game, so I if they just capture that, I think you have yourself a good product on your hands.
You know damn well people are gonna be upset over it in some way, shape, or form. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, there's no way.
They're gonna be like,
But-
her titties are too small.
Because
Shut the
like
fuck up.
basically what you want is just basically like Devil May Cry, but a treasure hunter kind of something like that. So you want like an over the top action kind of thing. With
If I
Mario.
wanted to play an over the top action game that's similar to Devil May Cry that has a female protagonist, I'll go play Bayonetta. Okay.
Yeah, Bayonetta's more extreme. Lara Croft's
I love Bayonetta. She's a badass.
But speaking of which, hey, you guys ever heard about that Devil May Cry Netflix anime? Gotta know.
I heard about it because I watched the Drop One live stream. Unlike some of you nerds.
So the Devil May Cry anime.
The devil is crying.
Devil May Cry anime is kind of harder to me at least, because it has a lot of cool fighting, it's a lot of cool lore, but Dante is like already the strongest in his universe, right? Like the only person who's stronger than him, or as strong as him, is his brother, and he already killed Mundus. That was the only other person. So, can you make a whole series and keep the entertainment factor going? Or are we just gonna watch Dante plow through a bunch of enemies?
Didn't they already make a Devilman?
They
Not
did.
Devilman, Devil May Cry anime.
They did, and they ran into the same problem. It was that Dante was already too strong, so they focused on like the side story. They focused on
They could have done what they did with Alucard and Hellsing, but with Dante in Devil May Cry. I keep wanting to say Devilman. I'm sorry.
They could make the devil cry.
That's
That's all I remember about that game.
Like in
Yeah.
Devilman Crybaby with
At Devil May Cry
Akira.
3, the ending when Dante kind of kills his brother, and then he sheds one tear for his brother, and he's like, I guess devils can cry. It's like,
Bruh, if I wanted to see devils cry, I said, I got Devilman.
if anybody who hasn't played Devil May Cry, do yourself a favor and watch like the cutscenes for Devil May Cry 3. It is like the greatest.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest soap opera of epicness I've ever seen.
I have like vague memories of my brother playing it from when I was younger, and all I remember was thinking like, man, this devil is not crying enough.
It's, by the way, Comic Con's facts. It seems like they did get Dante's energy right on this one. And Devil May Cry, the original anime they did. This was a more depressed Dante, so it took place after Devil May Cry 2. He had killed his brother, so he's kind of sad about it. So, you know.
Yeah, but what else is new?
But this is a Dante that wants to have fun. You know.
Cause devils just wanna have fun.
And
Hopefully I don't get anything removed for copyright.
Nah, it's fine. You're fine.
But that's but you know what? That's what you really need in Devil May Cry. You need to have fun, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and murder a whole bunch of devils.
Yeah. Also,
like
make sure you get the guy who plays Virgil from the games because he's always perfect in that role. So.
No, I'm gonna voice Virgil.
Can you do a raspy voice? Can you
I can figure it out.
Okay.
I'm Batman. Is that close?
You gotta be like, if you want it, then you're gonna have to take it. But you already knew that, didn't you? Like,
no, I won't.
Yeah. I heard Virgil's gonna be in the show, so I'm pretty excited for that. I don't know what they're probably gonna have like a showdown or something. But my question is Nero in this anime?
No. Nero will not be in the.
Which you should watch this. This is Castlevania director guy.
I watched Castlevania because I like Castlevania. Okay, I got gay vampires. Let me have my gay vampires.
You can have demon brothers.
I don't care about the demon brothers. I want the gay vampires.
Okay. But yeah, that's Devil May Cry. We can't really talk much more about it because Austin isn't here and he's.
Yeah, Austin, get in here, you nerd! I put you in the picture. You have thick-ass legs.
Devils do be crying.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Ash, you know in the first game the shop was called Devils Never Cry. And then in Devil May Cry 3 it was changed to the shop was named Devil May Cry. So.
He maybe will cry.
He might.
Maybe.
Who knows? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Comic-Con says he's hyped for it, and Dante is Zaddy. So. Yeah. So. All right.
All right then. I guess that's it for the media news, guys.
Yeah. Don't say
now.
Keep going.
Let's go on to the comic news. Ash, you take this one.
Oh, so Marvel is celebrating their old giant-sized comics with giant-sized one-shots. Now I have not actually heard much news about this, but because I do collect older comics, I have a few of the original giant-sized one-shots or giant-sized annuals and all that kind of stuff. And I really miss the olden days of when you would get one of these comics and like some of it would be a new story, but most of it would be reprints. But like it was a big hefty thing that you did not have to pay an insane amount of money for.
For real, I actually have I think at least one or two of the Alpha Flight giant size annuals as well because I need to finish my collection. I'm actually kind of interested in what they're gonna do with these. Not gonna lie to you.
I remember they had a giant size issue of Deadpool, right? And my comic shop had all the variants of that giant size comic. And guess who asked the comic book shop to reserve every Deadpool product for me?
Hey, trust me, my comic book shop is doing the same thing for me, but with Alpha Flight. Don't worry about it.
I had to pay $10 for 6 of the same comic.
Oh my god! You think that's bad? I bought how many issues of Miss Marvel: The New Mutant did I end up getting?
Didn't you buy all the variants?
I bought 8 of issue 1.
Keep in mind, I have, when it comes to like the new Alpha Flight run, I have almost all the variants so far besides one, and the only reason why I don't have it is because it was a rare one, and people are selling it for like over $200.
Yeah. See, I didn't continue that trend throughout issues throughout the rest of Miss Marvel because I was not buying that many. But I accidentally did it the first time because when I pre-ordered it, it was before the announcement of Miss Marvel: The New Mutant came out. So all I knew about the comic is that it was like 80% sure it was going to be Miss Marvel. I had no other frame of reference of what was going on, and I needed it for my Miss Marvel collection. And then the news dropped, and then I went, "Oh, I messed up." Oh
I'm
no!
just waiting for the Peach Momoko covers.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie with you there.
That one was good, but they're actually starting it off with giant size Spider-Man featuring Miles Morales, the superior Spider-Man, but not the superior Spider-Man, the superior Spider-Man.
Well, Ash, remember, I don't know if you ever read Spider-Man Life Story, but they incorporated Superior Spider-Man by Otto taking over Miles' body.
Oh my god! I tend to avoid Life Story.
Right, that was a clever twist because, like, at this point, like, Peter's an old man, right? And Otto's like, why would I want to take your body? There's this new, younger, fresher kid who has all your powers and then some. I'm taking his body. What was that, Jake?
I said, who is he? Orochimaru?
We get it. You like Naruto.
Yeah,
he's an octopus. Just because they both are based on slithery animals, it doesn't mean they're the same, Jake.
Yeah, stop assuming. Okay.
Yeah, I think the only Life Story I read was Life Story Fantastic Four, and that's only because I remember hearing that Johnny dies in that universe.
I remember.
You need it for your Johnny Suffers collection.
I remember
the worst one.
Yeah, I was about to say. I remember Jake hated. I remember Jake hated that.
I'm trying to get Ash to read Earth X because Johnny and Wyatt Wingfoot are in it.
So that's actually a funny story today. I read Marvel 1602, about only the Fantastic Four parts, and I really was just flipping through it because Dory Evans is in it and Wyatt Wingfoot, and those are like my two favorite Johnny side characters.
I love 1602. It's one of my favorite alternate universes.
The Fantastic Four books were weird.
It's always weird. What to expect?
I went into this blind.
I forgot why, but I'm still questioning why they decided to have White Man Steve Rogers be the way that he is in 1602. Okay, so I guess I'll live.
He is a white man in 1602 because Daystar just sent me like the images like completely unprompted, and then so I had to go and I had to see why Wyatt is also like. How is Wyatt a lord, but like Steve and none of it makes sense to me.
I feel like you need to go back and read the entire thing. I believe it does explain, but honestly, I completely forgot. It's been a hot minute. I've been reading a lot of Ultimate X-Men recently, and a lot of Alpha Flight.
To end this segment, Wyatt Wingfoot is the GOAT. And I hope to be on in November so I can just talk about Wyatt Wingfoot for like 20 minutes unprompted.
Go on.
But speaking of that, is there going back to the subject at hand? Which comic would you guys want to see a giant size issue of?
Cryptid, you should know me better by now.
Give
me Alpha Flight. Give me Young Avengers. We're good.
Too easy. That's too easy, Witch. Think of something else. Come on, man.
I mean, I'm gonna say Fantastic Four, but like that was pretty obvious.
That's pretty basic for both of us.
Yeah, we just need another Fantastic Four book out right now.
You know what? For Lily, I know you're not watching this, but for you, Lily, Power Pack. There we go.
Wait, I think they're supposed to come out with a comic or a special issue of Power Pack.
They're getting a mini Power Pack Into the Storm, featuring Lil Kid Franklin Richards.
Yay!
You know what really upsets me about Power Pack is that in Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, he literally goes and kills these kids.
No, here's the thing. That was my first exposure to Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Was him killing Power Pack?
and Miss Marvel and Moon Girl. It all happened in the same sequence, and it fucked me up.
I'm glad that some of my fakes were not killed
Mm.
because yeah.
Which does it make you feel better to know that Deadpool skinned Beast alive and is wearing him as a coat?
That's the only good part about that whole book.
No. There's also one exception. Johnny does die in the first issue.
Mhm.
Actually, no, it's extremely fucked up because I of course I researched the panels because of Johnny Suffers collection because I'm pretty sure what happens is Deadpool slits his throat to reveal Sue, who has been invisible this entire time, and like Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's also the reason why how Reed Richards was able to get the entire Fantastic Four to be zombies, but she wasn't invisible. He just was like, "Fuck you, we're gonna make us all into zombies because they're a higher form."
Yeah. Johnny Storm zombie though. Smash.
As long as he's not drawn by Greg Land, I'm good.
No. Even if he's drawn by Greg Land, smash.
Fucking hell,
Johnny
bro.
Storm by Greg Land is surprisingly good, and it's the only curly-haired Johnny Storm.
And I will go off of that point too because when he draws North Star and Kyle Janadu, it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good.
It's just women.
Don't let him draw a woman ever.
It's just women.
It's just women. It's like rarely the men, besides that one Iron Man panel where he was creating that one meme.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, we have a new guy in the chat, Austin.
Austin, where the fuck are you?
He's at work.
You in the picture?
He's at work. He can't come here. Jeez.
Okay.
But you know.
Well, alrighty, guys. We spoke enough about Giant Size. Before we get into comic reviews, there was just this one late bit of comic news that came out this week that I didn't have time to put on the topics. But apparently, we're getting a Kid Venom book.
Okay. Moving on.
Also, by the way,
another Spider-Man book.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Also, by the way, we go finish Fiona and Cake. It's super good. No spoilers here.
Gotcha. You know, the second I heard about Cade Venom, right, all I kept thinking of is this is going to be the rival to Spider-Boy.
I'm
gonna murder Spider-Boy.
Oh,
what the fuck?
You got. What does this group have against a little kid? I wonder.
Okay. Because here's the thing. I feel like. Okay, Dan Slott did something great when he created Cindy Moon. Not anything else that he did with Cindy Moon, but just the initial concept.
Her.
Yeah, the fact that Cindy Moon now exists. I feel like he instead of appreciating what he did by creating Cindy Moon, he's trying to make up for the fact that he did not create Miles Morales. Like that just like eats at the back of his head.
Beat him by a little bit, yeah.
And Brian Michael Bendis is another case of people who are. I'm thankful that they have made this character. Please never touch them again.
For real.
Stay far away.
Hey, Ash, did you read that last Spider-Verse event?
Yeah. I have the Spider-Boy issue because it was also the one with Spintress in it. And I bought it because I was like, Spintress.
Because of Webweaver.
Oh, wait. Ash, so you didn't read the whole story, right?
I didn't read the whole story. Okay. I really was just there for Spintress.
Because here...
Read like the first like 5-ish issues of that event, and then you can skip the rest of it.
Here it comes.
Because basically those first like 5 give you an idea of who these characters are, and then you can skip out on the rest of it.
Okay.
Obviously, I was only there for Webweaver and Webweaver.
Ash, there came this one point, right, where Spider-Man's existence gets erased from history, right? Meaning, we got to see a life that would have happened had Peter never been bitten by the spider. And you know what happened? This became the best possible thing to ever happen to Peter Parker. Because I know, like, because he didn't get bitten by a spider, he was at home by the time the robber came that was supposed to kill Uncle Ben, but because Peter was there, he took the bullet for Uncle Ben, He got shot in the leg. Uncle Ben beat the burglar up, but unfortunately now Peter has to walk with a crippled leg now.
Oh my god,
But,
that's like so much better than everything
but
else that happened in his
no,
life, though.
here,
Like if you
no,
decided to make a Peter Parker
here's
suffers thing, you just have
no,
every
no.
single Peter Parker book ever.
Here's what ended up happening, right? When Peter went back to school, right? You know, he was like feeling down on himself, like thinking, "Oh my God, I was already picked on as it was, seen as weak, but now I'm walking on the crutch for the rest of my life." But no, as a matter of fact, the whole school heard about what he did for his aunt and uncle. Even Flash Thompson came in and saying, "Nobody's messing with Peter. He's with me now. He's with the cool kids. You're the best. You're the greatest hero the school has ever seen. Hip hip hooray for Peter Parker!"
Oh God!
Peter
I know.
Parker became
Let this man suffer again. I hate that.
Peter Parker became like the popular kid. He ended up dating Liz, and I know this is where everybody's thinking like, okay, this world can't be perfect because there's no Spider-Man. Nope. Apparently, Cindy Moon became, she still got bitten by the spider, and she became an active hero.
Oh my
While
god!
Peter was no longer there.
His
And
universe is so much better.
I know. Wait till you hear this too. And during one of Sandman's attacks on the high school, right? Cindy Moon came in, saved the classes, and this and that. And of course, J. Jonah Jameson is like, because there's no Peter, all he has is Silk to pin all his aggression on. Silk is the menace. She's causing all these problems, this and that. And then Peter is looking at that and saying, I know what it's like being bullied, and I don't like seeing person being picked on. So he contacts Silk and offers her to be the tech guy to her.
Oh my god!
Crushing a teenage girl is kind of crazy. I'm just
saying. Cindy became a more accomplished hero in this universe, and because Peter was like reverse engineering a lot of tech she brought him, that got him a scholarship into the college he wanted. He ended up working for Norman Osborn, who never became Green Goblin. His aunt and uncle are still alive. He's dating Liz Allen. Like, oh shoot!
Just to keep on brand with the whole simp thing, I do have to ask: is Johnny in this at all?
No, Johnny's not there.
So Johnny retroactively has a better life too.
Might as well, That is Dan Slott's.
Johnny doesn't get to sleep with Akihiro in this. Damn.
that is Dan Slott's.
Wasn't it?
That is Dan Slott's biggest triumph, to say that Spider-Man was actually the worst thing that ever happened to Peter Parker. Wow. Yeah.
I love how you brought up Kid Venom, and we just talked about him for 2 seconds and moved on to something.
Yeah, because we don't care.
A little before stuff.
Okay, well, Kid Venom is going to be a one-shot written by Cullen Bunn, and Cullen Bunn's a good writer. He's actually the one who wrote the original Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Actually,
I'm going to sue that guy for emotional damages.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I met the guy several times at a con, all right?
Yeah, and you're the same guy who hates Webweaver for no reason, okay?
All right, let's see. What else is on this kid? No, not really. Nothing else. It's just going to be a one-shot for the Death of the Venomverse
series. Yeah, I forgot that was happening.
Yeah. I only really paid attention to the Magical Girl Venom and nothing else.
Same.
Watch last week's episode for Magical Girl Venom.
Austin told me to buy it.
No, apparently this kid Venom is going to be drawn by a manga creator, Taigami.
Yay!
So, alrighty then. There's that.
All right. Next up on the list is Marvel Unleashed #2.
Hey, I was the one who's supposed to unleash that beast.
Well, you did Kid Venom.
Okay. Marvel's Unleashed #2. Now, in case the audience needs a bit of a reminder, these are a bunch of pets and animals that are forming their own superhero team to go find Lockjaw, who was kidnapped by a scientist who's using his power to summon Blackheart. Now, you have a random dog with a Hawkeye mask. You have Captain Marvel's cat. You have Red Wing, the OG Red Wing, the bird, the one who should have gotten the MCU. And we got no, we got those three so far. All right, so they found where Blackheart. They found where the scientist had Lockjaw, and he just finished summoning up Blackheart. And man, we found out Blackheart's plan. All right, he needs the scientists to further do experiments on Lockjaw so they could summon up his 10th circle. Because apparently there's this whole dimension of undead warriors that Blackheart has had stored up for a long time that he was saving up so he could overthrow his father Mephisto. So,
Mephisto.
yep, yeah, Blackheart's the son of Mephisto.
Mephisto. Oh,
Dude, I thought of like two different characters when you said Mephisto. Not gonna lie to you.
Okay, but anyway, so while they're going over their plan, Craven, the one that was hired to kidnap Lockjaw, but now that he's got his payment, he's like, okay, I'm out, and that's when he encounters the pets. He's like saying, what are these creatures doing here? Shoo, go away! And that's when the dog takes it upon himself to attack Craven. He's the bad guy. We gotta stop them. And unfortunately, Craven punches him and knocks out the dog. Aww,
You know what this kind of
Annabelle.
reminds me of, Ash? This
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of that one Squirrel Girl run where
I was just reading that. Yeah, where Craven attacks a bunch of squirrels unprompted.
Oh well, in this case, the dog was jumping to bite him, so he had.
wasn't the
he had
squirrels
the
doing the same
Observed.
thing though?
Yes, because they
Okay.
saw Craven and they were like, "No, we don't
But-
Yeah,
fuck
we
with
don't fuck
him."
with you.
But anyway, so the cat is like, dog, oh no, are you okay? And Craven's like, why would you charge at me? I'm the hunter, not the hunted. And that's when Redwing gets his time to shine. Redwing! Craven, you have gone toe to toe with the best and held your own against the most formidable hand to hand combatants. But falcons are the fastest animals in the world. And this particular falcon has fought alongside the greatest heroes this earth has to offer.
And is a
Get his
vampire.
ass.
Yeah. He takes a slash at Craven's back with his talons, like saying, this Red Wing, I have spent my life around the greatest tactical minds on the planet, the likes of Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers. Not many people think of it, but I was with the greats fighting against all their battles, against Red Skull, against AIM, against Hydra, all that stuff. This bird came prepared to fight the hunter. This bird came to avenge a friend. This bird came to represent America.
No,
USA! USA!
Not say
USA! I mean, yeah, Red Wing's so lost, but still.
He did not say that.
Oh, yeah, he did get knocked. Okay, he did get knocked out by Craven in a punch, but you gotta admire his ferocity. He's
Yeah,
fighting. Yeah.
I think that's racist. I think that Redwing would have won that fight had the writers not needed it for plot reasons.
Because of the vampire thing. But we still gotta remember this is Craven's son we're talking about, and he's physically strong. He's superhumanly strong. So
Yeah, you
I'll
can
let
say
them
the same
slide
thing
by
about
that.
the Juggernaut. Look what happened to him.
Well, Juggernaut's a Juggernaut.
He's a bitch.
Yeah, he's also
Okay.
gay. Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so after knocking him out, that's when the only animal that's left standing is Captain Marvel's cat. And Craven's like, "Oh, what do you think? What do you think you're gonna do, little cat?" And the cat just unleashes his tentacles and knocks Craven out. He's like, "I'm not a cat. I'm a flurkin." And that's when Redwing wakes up saying, What happened? Where's Craven?" Boss, you must have scared him off." "Oh, well, yes, of course, I did. Once he saw the measures of his opponent, Craven deemed it wiser to retreat than suffer defeat." Yay! Give the bird this win, all right?
Just
No!
let the bird win.
What do you got against birds, man?
Yeah, what do you got against birds? That is the question.
Okay, but anyway, so they had previously discussed this in the last issue, but since they're summoning Blackheart, they need a god on their side, right? They need the force of Thorgy, the frog that was worthy. But the thing is, they have to relay a message to Stephen Strange, right? You know, Red Wing is like taking it upon himself, saying like, "I'll fly over there," but the dog is like, "No, no, no. This I got this covered, guys. Let me be useful." Not many people know this, but we dogs have a pact called the Midnight Bark. As the as the dog comes outside and just howls. And this is like some Morse code stuff going on because every dog that can hear it understands what he's saying and is relaying that message like, oh, oh, oh. Even this one dog's like saying, "Oh, my friends, I hope you're okay." Oh, oh. The whole city of New York's dogs start howling. And this ends up reaching the Sanctum Sanctorum, where we see Stephen Strange getting ready for movie night. And guess who happens to be with him? Everybody's
Ghost
favorite.
dog!
Yes, everybody's favorite ghost dog, Bats.
Yeah!
Yeah, why
Yes,
not?
boy!
Come on, all of us give a howl for Bats. Woo!
I'm gonna just.
Jake, where's your howl?
I died on the weekend. Okay, don't worry about it.
So did Bats, and he can howl. Come on, howl.
Woo, woo, woo,
Oh wow.
We'll work on it.
Okay, but anyway, so you have Bats in the corner ready to have movie night until he hears the midnight bark. He's like, "I haven't heard the midnight bark in years. A message needs to be delivered to Central Park. I'll finish the relay, my friends." Even as a ghost, he still has his loyalty to his fellow brotherhood of dogs, you know? So, anyway, while Bats is, going to bring in Thorgy, the three animals decide they have to take matters to their own hands for now. So they try coming in to stop Blackheart, right? Unfortunately, it's Blackheart. He's still a demon. He's still OP and that stuff. So he's quickly taking them out, but not until Borgie arrives. Release my friends, villains. Release my friends, you villain. Frog, the Thunder Frog demands it. Oh my god, and Blackheart's like, are you freaking kidding me? What is this? How about the 4 Animal Guard? Yeah. And an epic battle actually ensues between Blackheart and Thorgy. Like, whoa, this is the fight I never thought I wanted to see. I mean, while that's going on, you have Bats, talking with the other dogs. The dogs thinking Bats were all he did, and hope he could stay and help with the fight. And Bats is like, "Okay, we have to go get some help. And by the way, doggy, the name's Bats." Cool. And as they're trying to fight Mephisto, you have the main dog who's like going up to the scientist, right? At first, the scientist thinks the dog is like, scaring him, like barking at him seriously. But the dog is like, "Myron, no, you need to listen to me. You need to stop this nonsense and go home. Your dog Jupiter misses you." Oh my god, this book is just so much fun, But anyway, right as Thorgy was about to deliver the finishing blow by throwing his hammer at Blackheart, Blackheart ends up using the teleporter device to teleport the hammer to a different dimension. You're like, oh crap. So,
oh no.
Yep.
That's not good.
Yep. Unfortunately, the device goes haywire. It blows up, and it brings everybody in the area to the 10th circle of hell.
What in the hell?
Where Blackheart's army dwells. So now it's the army of darkness up against a dog, a Flerken, a ghost dog, a red wing, and a frog.
Hey, don't diss my boy, man.
But yeah, that's how the issue ends. I really like this writer. Let's see, what's his name? I gotta give him credit. Kyle Starks. He knows how to make a book fun. Between this and Peacemaker, he's a writer to look after. So yeah. That's it, guys. That's it for Unleashed.
Woo! I hope Lockjaw means that the Inhumans are coming back soon. That's all I gotta say.
Yay.
I miss them. I miss them so much.
Oh, by the way, hi Tevia. I just saw you in the chat. All right.
But I guess we're going on to listen. As I said before, I did an internet bad thing, and I went back and watched Boruto. Okay?
Oh my god!
Listen. In case you don't know, Boruto is the next generation of Naruto. Okay, since why the names are similar. It's a story about a boy who starts with everything, only for him to lose everything. Now, if you read the manga, that is the plot. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the anime, they want you to think that's the plot. But I'm here to tell you that is not the plot of the anime. I think the problem Boruto has is that it tried to it literally kept the scene from the manga, because the first thing you see in the manga is that the Leaf Village is destroyed and Boruto is fighting Kawaki, his brother in arms, now turned enemy. And you're getting this impression that you're building up towards Kawaki, which is true. But the anime itself isn't actually really about that, because it's trying to stall for time. What it really winds up being about is like the life of the Leaf Village post the war, basically. Mm-hmm. And if you watch it like that, I would say the anime is actually decent to pretty good at times. I think what I really like about it is that you do kind of get to see the stuff you didn't have time to see during the period of Naruto, where you got to see like the academy days of the kids, basically, and them growing into the ninja that they want to be. Kind of the relationships form, all that other stuff. Later on, you get to actually see them move on to their graduation, where they have to graduate into what is it? To the next grade, where they have to, get into their different teams. Because very early on, like Boruto doesn't just hang out with Mitsuki and Sarada; he hangs out with everybody, basically. So all the Leaf Village in his class is basically what he hangs out with. And you get some like kind of interesting characters. You get Iwabe, who's like an older kid, who got held back from the Leaf Village, like Naruto, a couple times. Only he's actually an older kid. Naruto, for some reason, the same age as his peers for some reason. But yeah, Iwabe gets held back a lot, so you get to see him like he's like, but this year he actually wants to make a difference. He wants to make a change in his life. You get characters like Denki, who's he's the son of a CEO, and he's terrible at being a ninja, but you kind of see him slowly learn to progress in his ninja ways and stuff like that. And you also even get to see Sarada kind of grow a little bit, because at the start of the series she really kind of dismisses Boruto hard. I mean, she's not like hitting Boruto like her mom would hit Naruto, but you get to see her progress and kind of like soften up on Boruto a bit. By the time they join as a team, they're kind of cool with each other. I really kind of like the new Team 7's dynamic more than I like the old Team 7, because old Team 7 kind of felt toxic.
They were toxic. Let's be honest here.
They really were. New Team 7, they're like chill. I mean, Sarada's always gonna give Boruto crap when he's acting rash, but sometimes you see Boruto and Sarada, they're just having normal conversations. I was like, this is nice. They had one mission where they had to protect a cat, basically. And the three of them were debating who gets to keep the cat, and Sarada was like, I would keep the cat, but I don't think my mom would allow us in our apartment. And then she's like, Boruto, could you keep the cat? He's like, I mean, I guess I could see. I would have to ask my parents, but I guess Mitsuki should have the cat in the meantime. What I love about this episode is Mitsuki does not know how to take care of a cat at all. So while the cat's just doing cat things, he's just having this like deadpan stare, like, okay. There's a moment where the cat keeps trying to crawl in his bed and sleep, and Mitsuki wakes up, sees the cat, and then takes it out of his bed and puts it on the floor, then gets back in the bed and sleeps repeatedly, and it's like, it was killing me. And so there was episodes like that. One of my favorite action-heavy arcs was Shikadai had a story arc. Shikadai being Shikamaru's kid. Shikadai winds up befriending another kid who's also like kind of a genius like him and stuff like that, and they bond over a game of shogi, essentially. And Shikadai finds out that this kid is actually a part of a terrorist group that's been kind of harassing the Leaf for a bit. This terrorist group is kind of pretending to be like Robin Hood, essentially. They claim that they're robbing from the rich and giving it to the poor villages and stuff like that. But the kid actually believes he's doing that. And what I like about this is that, like, when Boruto faces the kid's like, and they're chasing after him, and he shows, and the kid shows Boruto like a poor village that's like near the Leaf Village. It's like in a waterfall nearby it. And what I like about it is he tells Boruto, he's like, listen, your village is rich. You have like the richest village in the world, but not everyone is that lucky. You know, these people can't even get water. They have a machine for it, but if it breaks, they can't get water at all. They'll just like, you know, dehydrate and die, essentially. And this money we're stealing is going towards that village. And Boruto's like, damn, I didn't think about it like that. You know, he has like, it's like this whole
it's like a moment.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, and I really like that. And even Shikadai having the kid having this battle of philosophies too, where Shikadai believes that like because they're kids, they can't really make change. That's all for adults. And the guy's like, no, I believe he can make a change. Like he believes that you can make a change at any point in your life, essentially. So I did like that whole back and forth. And it was also, I like that it was a Shikadai arc too. Like Boruto was in it, but it was really about Shikadai, and he was the character that had to save the day as well. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the show is better than it gives credit for. It's nowhere near Naruto's quality. I'd say like the original Naruto show is a lot better than this show. But I had a lot of fun rewatching it. I think my only problem is in the early episodes is that it has this problem where everyone just kind of worships the ground Boruto steps on. So it's like no one could go 5 seconds without talking about Boruto. Like he won't even be in the room. He's like, Boruto, man, what cereal are you eating today, Boruto?
Cereal.
Yeah, so that was getting on my nerves. But Boruto himself, he's okay. He's an okay character. He doesn't really rag on his dad as much as like he came off in the movie. It kind of becomes a growing problem for him. Like he's kind of dismissive of his dad, but he really does want his approval. So I really did like that as well. I think the series really drags to a halt though after the Mitsuki arc, because even though the show is a lot of filler, it's actually natural progressing filler. Like the filler is its own plot within the show, basically. So even if you watch like an episode where a character is learning a jutsu, that jutsu will come up in an important arc later, basically. So I really like that, how like the filler wasn't just aimless. Like it wasn't like characters weren't talking about it. Like it actually had a purpose in later arcs they did, even if there were filler arcs, essentially. I think, but after a certain point, I think they just ran out of things to do. Because where the series is now, there's like a 5-parter about Asaba's daughter, Mirai, and I'm like, I don't care about her that much.
What don't you like about her, man?
Well, she's just okay. There's a plot point in the show that after the Ninja War, that ninjas aren't really like a popular thing anymore. Like it's not cool being a ninja as it used to be. So
go ninja, go.
Yeah, there's no one doing that in the streets anymore. What I like, and also I'll say what I like about this plot too. When the teams, like when they actually graduate from the academy and be in their little teams, like Team 7, Team 6, all this other stuff, the kids are very bummed out that they're not going on the high octane adventures where like, you know, they can nearly get killed and stuff like that. Those are few and far in between. Like sometimes Team 7's doing that. Sometimes Team 7's like, you know, I don't know, like helping an old lady cross the street, or like one of the teams is helping a lady shop at a mall or something. That's like all they can do, really, because they're just too young to do anything else. And that's cool. But then eventually they stopped running out of things to do. So with Mirai, her thing was like, oh, on this mission, I get to protect Kakashi and Guy. I get to protect Lord 7. No, wait, what's Kakashi? Lord 6. I was like, first off, kid, you're not protecting Kakashi from anything, okay? Kakashi needs help. You're not going to help him, okay? So, but her whole thing is she wants to prove herself, and then she wants to be like her dad. And I'm like, I don't really care. We have like a lot of characters like that already. It's whatever. The only thing I liked about it was that because she was with Kakashi and Guy have such like great energy together. Like they kind of carry that whole arc. I said this on the Thursday episode, but there's a scene where Guy gets pickpocketed by someone, and he just kind of watches the guy run away, and he's like, man, if I was just 20 years younger, I could have taken on 100 pickpockets. That was so funny. And Kakashi didn't even care because it was a decoy wallet, but you see Mirai freaking out. He's like, Lord 6, that guy stole your wallet. You have to be more careful. He was like, oh, yeah, that was a decoy wallet. I didn't actually have my real money in that wallet. I didn't care. But like I said, I just, while Kakashi and Guy carry the arc, Mirai herself doesn't, so I don't feel like she was a cool character. And then the episodes after that just kind of became a slog, so that's kind of where I stopped for a minute. But what's crazy is I got 100 episodes in, and there's still no Kawaki. Kawaki, who's the main villain of the show, going forward, he still hasn't showed up. But I was enjoying myself for most of my time, even though he wasn't there. So it's hard to recommend if you like Naruto and want to see what life is like after the war. I think this is a pretty good series for you. If you just want to see the stuff from, like, if you want to have the same energy from Naruto in Boruto, I'd read the manga. The manga is a lot more faster pace, so you get to the point a lot quicker. But yeah, I wouldn't casually recommend this to people. It depends on what you want in the Naruto universe right now. That's how I recommend it. So, yeah. Also, Sasuke is kind of an asshole because he cheated his daughter out of being a Chunin. But whatever.
What is Sasuke not an asshole? That's all I remember from the original Naruto.
Well,
I was a big Sasuke Sakura shipper when Naruto came out, but I ended up wanting Sakura to punch Sasuke in the face by the end. Like,
exactly.
You mother beeper.
Well,
he didn't deserve Sakura.
I brought this up on Thursday, but if you want a good example of Sakura x Sasuke, read Sasuke Retsudan. Okay, that's
the novel.
Yeah, it's a canon-like novel. Also has a manga, or you can watch the anime version. They have like 3 different versions of it. But you actually get the impression that Sasuke actually really loves Sakura.
Oh, for once.
I don't want. You need more than an impression. You need an actual showing of it.
Because in that novel, he learned, because he's in another land, like another country, and he learns the concept of a wedding ring, and he's like, oh. This seems pretty cool. I kind of want Sakura to have one of these. So he makes one out of the earth for her, and Sakura's like, Sasuke, like I don't need this. Like I love you and you love me. So like I don't need. I appreciate you thought about it though. And you also see like when because Sasuke has to go to prison at one point, so he has this habit that he kind of does where he looks at the Sakura blossom trees and he just kind of watches it because he's thinking about it. So stuff like that. But yeah, it's stuff like that. Like Sasuke Retsudan, I highly recommend it if you want to see Sasuke be an actual genuine human being. Go read. So there you go.
Oh, cool. Any final thoughts, guys, before we move on to the next?
Sakura deserves better. That's all I gotta say.
I've never watched Naruto.
I've held this opinion since I was 10. Or no, I've held this opinion since I was 5. Let me be honest here. I've held the opinion that Sakura deserves better since I was 5 years old.
Hold on. Does she? The way she treats Naruto, who actually liked her?
Deserved.
Well, the way Sakura played with Naruto's feelings, the whole "I love you, Naruto."
Deserved.
Please don't go after Sasuke.
I support women's wrongs. Let's be honest here. I'm a Crystal Emma Quaylen defender, okay? I support women. Speaking of women.
Oh, go ahead, Ash.
let's talk about Miss Marvel #2, or Miss Marvel the New Mutant #2. Because oh jeez, you can tell the panic in my voice already. Again, so comic opens up another wonderful dream sequence written by Amon and Sabir. I don't know why the dream sequences in this comic like really just hit in a way that like the rest of the comic just doesn't when they get to the mutants. It's always very like pungent. It's always very like on topic of this whole dysphoria that Kamala is having right now. And then you open up to Bruno.
God damn it, Bruno. Get out of here.
You open up to and here's where I'm questioning if Amon remembers what it's like being a brown girl for like 5 seconds. Cause like, why did Bruno get to spend the night? My parents would be beating my ass and I would be in college if I did that.
Hey, Ash, this is them in college. Let's keep that in mind.
No. Here's the
I don't
thing.
think you
They are
understand
still
because
17. And
What?
the other
Wait,
thing,
what?
yeah, they're still 17. This is a summer program. They are not in college yet. And
Oh,
the
that
other
does not
thing,
make
the other
sense.
thing, yeah, the other thing is with brown parents, it doesn't matter if you're in college. You're still getting your ass beat. I got my ass beat all the way in Ohio. Like I was far away from my parents, still getting my ass beat.
Jesus.
no,
I mean, I
nowadays
have
my
brown.
parents will just be
I
me
mean,
asking like a shit ton of questions if I even
I mean,
like my parents think that I'm dating all of my friends.
Yeah,
So
and
I mean,
the
I
other
have brown parents, and I don't think they were that
yeah, I have
strict.
one brown parent and one parent who's half Korean. So you figure it out.
yeah, I have South Asian. I have a South
I have
Asian mother.
I have an East Asian parent.
Oh yeah,
Bolivian parents straight from South America. So,
yeah.
but no, I kind of like the tidbit in the beginning because, like, to all the Bruno and Kamala shippers out there, hey, look at this. This is the first time we see those two sleep together. So, way to go, Bruno.
The one Italian American stalker, which is the only Brumala shipper I have ever known. Which I one of my mutuals who is also a Brumala auntie, they mentioned something about how Amon really translates the lack of chemistry she has with the actor for Bruno, Matt Lins.
Yeah.
She translates that well into the story. Like the lack of chemistry between them is definitely in here. Which I have to agree because again, you also introduce another a roommate for Kamala, and I like the roommate a lot better than whatever the hell Brumala is happening in front of me. But anyway, Brumala aside,
I guess they just don't want to push for Kamala having a love interest in the MCU.
Not
I guess.
with Bruno.
No, come on. What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with Bruno.
Yeah, there is so many things wrong with Bruno. And the other point is that Kareem is also right there.
Mm-hmm.
Where has he been? Please bring
back
him
my
back.
boy. I haven't seen you in a while. Bring him back.
He was there for the death issue, and then the death issue didn't matter anymore. So
like, did no one like try to tell him? Did Kamala just not tell him that?
No.
I feel so.
No. Emma Frost wiped everyone's memory, so
yeah,
they never thought that she died.
We need to stop the mutant agenda.
Yeah, speaking of stopping the mutant agenda, this is actually a very good segue. We get another sneak preview of those two South Asian bad guys. I don't remember their names. I don't care to remember their names right now. But they're again, they're like, okay, we're gonna use these robots to go track down and find out what student is Miss Marvel. And so Kamala's kind of trying, then it cuts back to Kamala. She's trying to figure out what her dreams meant. And then she realized that she sees this cosmic sorcerer, which is kind of a mix between the Silver Surfer and, Doctor Strange. And
Dr. Surfer, guys. How about that?
Malcolm universe all over again.
The crazy thing about it is it's actually from one of her fan fictions, which I think is a very creative way to kind of bring in that part of Kamala without having to revert her back to very early days Kamala. It's one of my favorite parts of the story. I think that they could have just done 4 issues of just that, and I would have been happy. Then they stumble upon a anti-mutant protest held at the Orchid School.
I forgot school.
Yeah, everyone does, including me, because again, they're trying to like ham-fist this like metaphor of like discrimination. Really, I feel like all the mutant parts could have worked better if they had went for more of a profiling system. Because right now,
book to recommend for you that does this way better, and it's Alpha Flight.
It's Alpha Flight. It's always Alpha Flight.
It's always Alpha Flight.
But
they do that thing. They do it so much better. They do it so much better.
Like with the thing about Orchids right now is that they're not going after just mutants. They're going after mutates. They're going after like everyone in the superhero community,
which is so dumb. It's like pick one.
So why does it matter that Kamala is a mutant now?
It doesn't.
It's the question I've been asking since this book started. I still have yet to find a reason that she is a mutant. But essentially, these drones are now tracking her. She gets attacked, and guess who's there to save the day? The Invincible Iron Man with his new weird tech armor thing, or his new stealth suit.
I personally would have wanted Romeo to be in here because hey, I want Cabal to hang out with more Inhumans.
I'm pretty sure Romeo is dead.
No. I think isn't Romeo still in Antarctica with Bobby?
He's alive. He got aged up, Ash. Yeah.
Oh thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, no. So,
I know.
So in the freaking Marvel Unlimited Iceman book, they actually did age him up so that he can be with adult Iceman.
Yeah,
but Bobby also does get to sleep with Christian Frost. So to all of my Bobby Christian shippers, there you go. But they don't actually get together.
As in Emma Frost's brother?
Yes, but then also Bobby's dad dies in that book too. But I didn't really care that much because he was a fucking bigot, as the Cerebro podcast once said. Well, I'm not kidding. Go read it on Marvel Unlimited right now. Go read it right now.
I just gotta say, I remember Witch talking about that issue, and I was like thinking, Iceman, you dodged a bullet, because like, thank God they established Romeo aged up, like, because if you slept with a minor, you would have had so many controversies over your character, you know.
You were the one who wasn't getting it after we've explained it to you like 20 times.
Hey guys,
you couldn't get past the art style.
Hey guys, all right, we got a comment here from Tevia. So what's going on? Why even make her a mutant? Why kill Miss Marvel off in Amazing Spider-Man?
I wish I knew.
To promote a white man's story.
Here's the thing. Even as a Miss Marvel historian, I'm like looking at all of this, the sequence of events, and still nothing about it makes sense to me because it doesn't work with MCU synergy because it's actively taking her away from Captain Marvel and the rest of the Marvels. But it also doesn't work with what they're trying to do in the comics because Kamala would have helped the mutants regardless. That's just who she is. Good is not a thing you are; it's a thing you do. So why kill her off in Amazing Spider-Man? Because Zeb Wells wanted to do a fake out. That is the only explanation I have.
I think with Zeb Wells, he was forced to put that into his storyline by editorial.
No. Here's the thing. I do believe that editorial told him that he had to kill off Miss Marvel. However, the way it happened, it was he chose to do a fake out because he needed a shapeshifter. Like, in my opinion, what happened was editorial as a whole was like, we need to kill off Miss Marvel in some capacity to bring her back as a mutant. Zeb Wells was the one who went, I want to kill her off in Amazing Spider-Man because I need a shapeshifter and it's hard to get Mystique.
And also keep in mind, Zeb Wells was already going to be the most hated person in the comic community anyway. So they might as well pin the death of Kamala on Zeb Wells.
It's a whole mess.
For them to do it, and they still did it anyways, and that's like, come on, it just made no sense.
I
And it's
still
like they act like and then it's like they pretend to be like, oh, she's like the first ever Inhuman mutant hybrid, and I'm like, what about Pietro's kid?
Lunella Maximoff? Anyone?
Not exist?
Please bring her back. I don't know who has custody of her anymore because I think Crystal's dead. But like, please just return my child to me.
Yes, Ash. We will give you custody over the child.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of child, Emma Frost is here now, and Emma Frost goes into like her 5th tirade about how she's like, "Oh, why are you wearing that uniform?" And it's like, Emma, who the fuck gave her the uniform?
You're probably the same person who gave Lady Mastermind the titty top, okay?
Yeah, it's like she's like, why are you promoting yourself as a mutant all around? Like, and it's just like, Emma, what the fuck? Like 5 seconds earlier, during the Hellfire Gala, you were all pro Kamala coming out as a mutant, and then you made her the suit. And Spider-Man still has her mask. So, like, what else is she supposed to do?
Going back to that was like when Cryptid was describing it, it was so creepy.
It's still creepy. Let's be honest here. I'm still not over that.
And then it's like the stuff with Doc Ock was even creepier, especially when you remember what happens in Alyssa Wong's Deadpool and all that other stuff. And I'm like, bro, what was even happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, bring back Valentine and Deadpool, please. Put them in a pride book.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, Tony's there's that weird fetish comment. I feel like I need to bring it up because it still is bothering me. Anyway, Tony walks off. Emma goes into another tirade saying like, I don't want to bury another mutant. And I'm like, Emma, shut the fuck up. I'm so done with you. You have went through like 3 consecutive genocides. I don't want to hear anything else from you. I stand by my opinion that the worst part of the New Mutant is the mutant parts. Because if this was honestly a story about Kamala having to grapple with, her unaliving, I'm fine if we keep the unaliving in there. But if it was her having to grapple with this and like having these weird dream sequences based on her fan fiction, I feel like that would have been so much better. But like, halfway through the book, we have to spend like 10 pages just about mutants. And it's like that. It's
like we already know about mutants.
Yeah.
We're reading freaking X-Men comics right now.
There's too many.
It's almost like this book is overcompensating on the mutant aspect of Kamala.
They 100% are. Anyway, we go. Turns out Orchids has placed a tracker on Kamala. They are waiting for her to fall asleep so they can, I don't know, figure out who she is. And at the same time, Bruno is trying to monitor her dreams in order to, kind of see, what the hell is going on with her. And I feel like that's also like the perfect amount of Bruno. If he was just in it at the end and they were not trying to push Brumala, I would have been a lot better with him being in this book. Because
let those two be together.
No, we are not. She is. Here's the thing. It would be a different story if Kamala was more like Monet and she is Muslim, but it's more of like a side thing. It's not like, she's not as religious as Kamala is. Kamala cannot date because of her religion, and especially Bruno. I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna get my ass beat if I told my grandma I was dating a white man. So,
hey, everybody likes a good Romeo and Juliet story.
Yeah, but
it's not even that. It's not even that. Kamala has shown still zero interest in him.
No. Those two kiss and hook up in the Saladin Ahmed run.
Yeah, you're talking about them kissing after Yusuf is like dying at the same time, and like she is in an emotional state of distress like the entire run.
Okay. Hey, your character, your feelings get revealed under emotional situations. All right.
Yeah,
Not
and
even
then
justify-
she just went, "Nah, I'm good," and then just forgot about all of it. Let's be honest here. And then it made it almost, I think, like a year or two after that, and it was also maybe it was after or during Beyond the Limit. They also created the first Love Unlimited comic, which just so happened to be Kamala and Kareem.
the correct ship.
So all I'm saying is that clearly
Wait, wasn't Kareem on Kamal's villain list?
no,
Yeah.
no, you're thinking of Kamran.
Kamran, yeah. No, him.
Kamran, no last
Wait.
name. Give it.
Which I do understand the confusion, but still, no.
I do get it, but we are talking about Red Dagger, who is a hero, and
Okay, well, that good.
yeah. Oh yeah, I sometimes forget that not everyone's a Miss Marvel historian.
No. As I read that comic, it's been so long since I've read that comic. You know, I followed Miss Marvel's adventures since the beginning, too. You know.
Yeah, they forget to mention Kareem so often, and it bothers me.
Yeah.
Anyway, cut to another dream sequence. She's breaking out of the egg, and then we get to see the cosmic sorcerer. And it seems like the next book is going to focus more on the fan fiction dream sequences, which I am so excited for. It is so much better than whatever mutant parts are in this book.
And she's able to explore that thanks to the device made to her by Bruno. A faithful companion, a partner, supportive.
I have no problem. I have no problem with Bruno being the guy in the chair. I need him to sit his ass down and stay in that chair.
Stay in the damn chair.
Stay in the damn chair.
Let those two be a couple.
No,
hey, speaking of couples.
Okay, you do the next one, Ash. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, it was so perfect of a segue.
That was like really
Go
good
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the Emma Tony wedding.
Oh God. Tell me, how was it? How was the wedding? I totally did not see this on Twitter. How was it?
Not as bad as we thought it could be. So
and not as big
and Hulkling weddings.
And not as big as anybody thought it was going to be. You know,
big. It was such an afterthought.
You see all those promos, you have all the X-Men people in the background. Looks like a big church. Emma is wearing like a beautiful dress, a white dress, but nope, not really.
None of that happens. So we start off. Rhodey almost gets killed again.
What else is new?
And luckily, Kingpin and Tony are weirdly enough pulling a lot of weight during this entire Fall of X event, because Kingpin single-handedly gets Rhodey protection in said prison with Sandman and another villain that I always forget the name of, but he's really not important.
Living Laser.
Living Laser.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Kingpin saying, he's saying, if I wanted a prisoner to be safe, I would make them be safe. So I'm like, there you go.
Again, everything I'm getting into the proposal again, because the entire proposal happens because Emma Frost is a goddamn menace to society.
Is
because they see Fei Long, who's kind of the main villain of all of this. They see Fei Long enter the Hellfire Gala, or not the Hellfire Club. I'm trying to keep up with these X-Men terms.
Don't worry about it.
I'm trying my hardest.
Go ahead.
But she sees him and she's like, I'm gonna kill this fool with my telepath powers. So she takes off her inhibitor ring after kicking Tony in the balls. This is important. And throws it at his feet, and he's like, wait, no, you need to not do that so our plan can actually work. I'm just trying to break my best friend out of jail. Please stop doing this, Emma. And then Fei Long accidentally walks in on them, and it looks like Tony is about to propose. So then come up with a counter plan. Where essentially they go to Vegas to go get married. Very quick
Billy and Teddy
wedding.
did it better.
And tell what the wedding ring was. Which Ash.
I don't know that.
The wedding ring was a mutant depowering ring.
Yeah, it's the inhibitor ring.
Inhibitor,
yeah.
Yep.
This is a whole mess. Anyway, go to Vegas. Tony's like, I'm gonna steal some stuff first before we even get married.
Yep.
Which, hooray! Thank you, Tony. Thank you for like having at least one action scene in this. Tony shows up. He's like, man, this woman's gonna break my heart. And I'm like, Tony, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired.
He says, like, just looking at just one glimpse of this woman, and I know she's gonna break my heart, and I am gonna enjoy the ride. Like,
I'm like, Tony, no, because this entire Iron Man run sounds like he's gonna die at the end again. Because like he's also like, I'm walking down the aisle for the first and last time, and we're like, Tony, God fucking damn it, we can't be going through this again.
God damn it, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they get married. Fei Long shows up to Fei Long is suspicious of all of them. So he's like, I gotta make sure that this actually happens. And so they spring a trap on him where they then decide to use Emma's powers to infiltrate his mind in order to get the files that were or the video files that were left by Howard Stark for Tony, which Fei Long had destroyed earlier in the run. Which I have opinions on how they treat Howard again, because Howard is a bad dad. Howard is an abusive father. Stop trying to make people like Howard.
MCU.
I see these scenes of Tony being like, man,
that's
fine, dad. And it's like, shut the fuck up, Tony.
Hey, that's another reason to appreciate Peggy Carter in the comics, because she's the only woman in history who threw Howard Stark through a window.
They should do it more often. Although technically we do have also Nathaniel Richards to thank. Well, not for the same reasons. It is heavily implied that you fucked Tony's dad. Reed Richards' father, Nathaniel Richards, not Kang Nathaniel Richards. There's a distinction. But anyway, Fei Long wakes up. He's like, what the fuck are you doing in my mind? And so it's then revealed that Fei Long's parents were mutants, and he was born without powers.
Ooh,
which is a weird thing.
In Hogwarts standards, he's a squib.
Yeah. That's also like the confusing thing, because I didn't think that mutant genealogy worked like that up until this point.
It's a very rare occurrence. Like, I remember seeing an article once, like this one black guy and one black woman, they married, and their child ended up being Caucasian with blonde hair.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, that was that's a 1 in a million fluke to happen,
But I feel like that was always more written into the Inhumans than it was the mutants, which is another thing that the mutants are just stealing from the Inhumans, because with the Inhumans, or specifically the new humans, like Kamala, we had two siblings whose parents had the exact same genealogy. They both carried the Inhuman gene, but only one of them was affected by the Terrigen. So, and like, I feel like it's just like, okay, so he became like a race traitor because he didn't get powers. And it's just like, oh, all right. This is weird, Dugan, but we're just...
He's self-loathing. That's the way he's coping. Like, burn the whole world down, because I wanted to be a mutant. I wanted to be a minority, but now that can't happen.
It's like, if I can't be a minority, no one can be a minority.
Yay.
That's exactly what's happening. And I'm like, Jerry Dugan, do you know what you're doing? This is how I feel about this entire run.
He went as far as I don't know what he did, but his skin is pink. Can anybody explain that?
I know.
I'm
wish I
assuming
could.
I only saw shit on Twitter.
I'm assuming he did a whole bunch of experiments on himself to make him have some sort of powers or whatever.
No,
So
I'm like 80% sure that's
like
what happened.
hey, at least he's technically a POC character now. There you go.
he was already a person of color before this.
Now
Long
he's even
is
more of a
Chinese.
person. Now he's even more of a person of color now. He's like he's overcompensating, Ash.
Anyway, now Fei Long has a splitting headache whenever he thinks that Emma Frost and Emma Frost's weird, sexy librarian look are the same person.
Can I be honest with you? Can I be 100% honest with you? When I
Yeah.
first saw that, I deadass thought that was Moira McTaggart.
I did too.
No.
I did too because I saw the previews and I don't know much about X-Men up until the point where Miss Marvel became immune. So, you know, I would see Mora and I would just be like I would think that like the Hazel persona was just Mora and it's just like, "Oh, it's not? That's Emma?"
I read
going
all
on here?
X-Men comics, and I got confused too, so don't worry about it.
Like, I thought it would be funnier if Emma's like, yeah, let me just show my natural hair color.
No, because she is
audience,
a wig.
Audience, remember, like, audience, remember, Emma Frost is not a natural blonde.
Yeah, no, she is now though, because when she got resurrected, she came back with all of her,
wow.
with all of her plastic surgery and the blonde hair.
There are some points where Emma just makes people see her as a blonde, so you know they could have done that. Like,
yeah, it's again. Emma Frost seems to be the worst part of every single comic I have read in the past like week.
Nah.
it's so anyway, comic ends with the introduction of Mysterium. There is a lot on Araco, and that is where they are heading next to build an armor that can destroy the Stark Sentinels.
Yep. Audience, like, Mysterium is like a new sort of metal that Howard Stark discovered, and it's obvious that at some point in the series, Tony's gonna make an armor made of this metal. So
as Tony does.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna make a diamond armor?
That's what I want. Like, no,
why not?
He's going to make a diamond armor, and Emma's going to win that into the divorce. Let me keep this as a memento of our time, Tony.
To be fair, I think again the only reason that Tony is doing any of this is just to get Rhodey back. I have not seen any other motivation from this man other than he needs his husband back, and he needs his husband back now.
His friend, his best friend. All right.
Oh, and I'm sorry, he can't be his husband anymore because he's married to Hazel. What's her face? I forget.
Hey, Tony Stark has 2 hands. He has 2 hands.
And also keep in mind, Rhodey and Captain Marvel are still a couple. All right.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that too. Well, they have.
I need them to break up.
Everyone has 2 hands each. I'm just saying.
I need them to break up.
But anyway. Wow, you want to break up a biracial couple, Ash? Come on.
Yes.
Okay,
we have enough of those in Marvel Comics. I'm done.
There are way better biracial couples out there than Rhodey and Captain Marvel. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Jess and Luke.
All right. But any final thoughts on this issue before we move on?
Gay rights.
Tony is now canonically South Asian. I've decided this because he wore red to his wedding, and like I don't know anyone else who would do that.
Well, and so did Emma. She wore red to the wedding.
Okay, but like Emma is like extra white. Like we 100% know that she's white.
Kristen,
Tony, on the other hand,
cryptid. She's whiter than me.
Tony, on the other hand, they keep it so vague sometimes as to what Maria Stark was that I have like retroactively in my head just told myself repeatedly that Tony is Asian since I was like 8.
Yeah. Oh, and that's not because he's ridiculously smart. Just want to point that out, right?
No. It's not because he's ridiculously smart. It's because he has parental issues.
Don't we all? But no, last thing before we move on, go read Alpha Flight because I don't want to be the only person talking about this book.
Yeah. I forgot to do my normal plug that I do at the end of all my reviews. Go read Ryan North's Fantastic Four, issue 12 next week instead of any of this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what? I will agree with you on that, even though I haven't read it. As
sorry.
long as you go read Alpha Flight by Ed Brisson as well.
I forgot. It's this week. It comes out this Wednesday. Please go read Fantastic Four.
And you know what else comes out this Wednesday? Me talking about Castlevania Nocturne.
Good for you. But anyway, we still got a schedule to keep up, so let's move on to the next comic, guys. And I'll take this one since I think I'm the only one here who's actually reading this book, this run, or this event. Gotham War Part 4, Red Hood. Now, as the title states, this is Red Hood's time to shine, seeing what he's doing during this whole event of, hey, Catwoman saying, let's make crime legal, let's have it be okay to rob the rich, only the rich, and no one gets hurt, But basically, this issue is basically a screw you to that mentality, just to let you know which. So you see Jason Todd, he's being recruited by Catwoman, who tells him her plan. And so Jason now has the duty of pretty much being a drill sergeant to the new enlistment of crooks who are trying to steal, He's like saying, I think training a bunch of degenerates and lowlifes to break into people's houses is a dumb beeping idea. I think this is all going to go horribly, but I'm here to get to know all of you real well, so that when I'm right and you do screw up, I can find you and I will kill you.
No offense, but I don't think Red Hood would sound like that.
But that's how he's sounding here. And then one of the things, and then one of the red recruits is like, I think I should go, and Red Hood's like, and then there were two. So yeah, it's down to these two who decide to stick around, and Jason Todd is putting them through the course, pretty much beating them up in the ring, throwing them off of buildings, the ceilings of buildings, teaching them the ropes of having to fight in the dark by having Jason Todd, beat the crap out of them again, and
as
of course,
he should.
Yep, and of course, teaching them how to unlock a car with a crowbar. Dude, what is it with you and that crowbar? Is that the same crowbar that Joker beat you up with? Do you sleep with that at nights, dude? But anyway, so yeah, they get their beatings, this and that. So Jason Todd ends up bringing them to like this one bar that was infamous for being the bars where lackeys and crews from villains would gather, to get some drinks. And this is where Jason Todd, you get more of his motivation as to why he's so influential with Catwoman's side, right? He's like having a one-on-one conversation with these two, saying, so yeah, we're going to do our big heist tomorrow. Drink up, boys. Also, let's talk about a little bit about your history, I know you guys were formerly the henchmen to Scarecrow, but I know who you guys worked with before. Joker.
Uh-oh.
Joker. Where is he? And like,
where is he? Oh, you did the Batman voice.
Where is she?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
yeah, I have to get
right now.
My deep voice has to work out for something.
You have a deep voice?
Yeah, but anyway, But anyway, so yeah, that's a good reason as to why Jason has a particular interest in these two people. He wants information, he wants to go after the Joker, but at the same time, I'm thinking at the back of my head, how long ago was that story, dude? I mean, you're talking about 10 years at the past or something. And you're still beefing around the Joker? I mean, Joker makes his appearance known when he's terrorizing Gotham every week.
Yeah, you just gotta wait long enough, and he'll pop back up.
You just gotta wait for like a Thursday, and you should be good.
Yeah,
like a Thursday afternoon.
Mm-hmm. But then I also have to remember this is Batman. This is the Batman comics we're talking about. Batman characters can never progress. They're A-listers. You can never really change an A-lister. But anyway, he ends up telling the two guys that, yeah, this is your final test. Give me your weapons. All of them. Part of the rules that we're going to go by is nobody gets hurt during your heists. So I'm going to tell everybody in this bar to come beat you up, and I expect none of you to be fighting back. So enjoy. Remember the rules, boys.
It's like, have fun.
Yeah, and the whole bar comes in and proceeds to beat these two guys up.
Oh my god!
Like, whoa! Catwoman's coming in here saying, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh man! And it all ends when the two guys get thrown out the window, literally. Oh. Not dead. See, Selena? Hey, they're not dead, so that's an A+ in my book.
At least they're not dead. That's
yeah. But yeah, anyway, we cut back to the apartment of one of these guys, and he's sleeping, ready for the big night tomorrow, when all of a sudden he has vision. He's having a dream of none other than Scarecrow. Sweet dreams, Bash. Important to get a good night's sleep before you start any new jobs, eh?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep, this should be expected. I mean, what do you think the villains are going to react to when they realize all their henchmen are gone? Yeah. Are they going to be? Are they going to be like, oh well, we don't have more henchmen, so I guess our villain reign is over. Time to go out, be good citizens, good members of society, this and that. Oh, of course they're going to go after Selena. Okay, so anyway, the big night happens. They're robbing this one museum, doing things carefully, and that's when the guy that had the nightmare of Scarecrow, right? He ends up freaking out a bit. He ends up tripping the alarm, and that's when the police officer comes up telling them not to move. And Jason, he's there, right? Mm-hmm. He's like telling the police officer, "Look, drop the gun. The cameras are off. You know who I am. I could beat the shit out of you. Just walk away." And before the police officer could respond with an answer, one of the two guys beats him in the head with a gun. He's like saying, "Tell Scarecrow we're out. He sent you here, didn't he? You're just trying to mess with our minds. He wants us to go back to being henchmen. No more, never." And the guy came close to shooting the police officer in the head until Jason Todd had to stop him. And he's like, "What are you doing? This is against the rules." And he pretty much goes all no, Gatling gun on the guy as he's beating him to a pulp, punch by punch by punch. Dude, this guy got punched like probably 80 times by Jason Todd.
Jeez.
Wow. And he's like looking at the other guy. The other guy's like trying to say, "Jason, it's enough. He's out. Okay, I know we screwed up, but come on, stop. You're going to kill him." And he's like, and Jason's like, F- for all of you. Put all the stuff you stole back in its place. We're out. This mission's a failure. Wow. But anyway, so they go back to Catwoman's hideout, and Jason's having a one-on-one confrontation with Selena about how horribly this went. And Selena, she's like saying, "Oh, well, it was a police officer. He was about to get shot. Well, no biggie." And Jason's like, "You think that's funny, Selena? Think that's funny? You're teaching these people to break into homes to take whatever they want, and your only safety net is what? A beeping honor system? These aren't straight."
I remember when Batman made this same argument, and then Jason was not on his side. I'm just saying.
I know, like Jason's not the most mentally stable out of the group, out of the Bat family, you know.
Yeah, him and JP Valley need to go get therapy together. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, this comic pretty much states that Jason, the only reason he's really on Catwoman's side throughout the majority of this is he just wants intel to get to the Joker. That's it. And yes, he's probably abusing his power to beat up a bunch of henchmen, And honestly, this whole run is really just poking holes all over Catwoman's system, which is reasonably so. To finish off what Jason Todd was saying, he's like saying, "These aren't stray cats you found in an alley, Selena. They're men who signed up to do horrible things at the behest of the most evil people of Gotham. They worked for Scarecrow, Pig, Joker, you name it. And you think all that's going to be forgiven?" I have a feeling Jason would never say this in front of Batman. He doesn't want to admit Batman's right.
Oh, no. Of course not.
You're saying that they've been trying to poke holes in Catwoman's plan, which is fine. It's like, but Batman's isn't much better. So.
They're both equally bad plans.
Nah, at least Batman is beating up bad people,
He is beating up bad people, but then they come back even worse. So, like...
But Catwoman is training these people and coming out even worse. Like, better.
Joker had, like, I'm trying to remember what that story was. He had taken over Wayne Industries at this point, and he had nearly burned the city to the ground for, like, the 60th time. And then when Harley Quinn asked Batman, "Hey, just kill him this time," Batman was like, "No." I'm like, how many times does he have to do this?
Yeah. Also, Bruce, you don't have to kill him so much as maybe he accidentally falls. Like, you can't be responsible for gravity.
I think if I remember correctly, he was in that position where if he just let Joker fall, he would have been dead or something. I can't remember, but that's what I remember.
He has his code. He has a code that he wants to stick by. It's code of honor.
Is he the problem? Like, I get it. Gotham should just put these people on the death penalty anyway, but they're not.
No, you know what? No, that's what system you should be blaming on. Why aren't these villains being given the death penalty?
I absolutely do, but at what point is it Batman's responsibility as well? Because he at this point, he is the problem as well. Just kill Joker. That's all it is, or something like that.
But again, you go to the point of everybody's an A-lister here. There's no way any of them could get killed or changed.
No, I know, and that's the thing. I guess that's my problem. It's like it's bringing up a question that you could never answer because the real reason is they sell stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would rather than not bring it up at all if they weren't going to come up with a solution. I mean, say what you want about Batman beyond Terry McGinnis, but a lot of his villains get killed off after the episode they're introduced.
They get killed off, and in the epilogue episode of Justice League, you see 10 years later they're all still alive.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like that episode too.
Okay, but anyway, so this issue ends with Jason, like that one guy that he bashed, right? He wasn't responding to any of their calls. So Jason went up to go see what's going on with him, right? And what's her name? Cassie? Spoiler?
Stephanie Brown.
Stephanie Brown, her. She's there, right? And they're both wearing masks, and turns out there's a little bit of fear toxin left in the room. Yeah, it wasn't a nightmare that the robber was having. It was actual Scarecrow. And Scarecrow ended up coming back to that room, pretty much crucifying the guy to his wall and writing in his own blood, saying, "Get your own toys, Red Hood."
Damn.
Ooh. The villains, yeah, they're going to be responding. I know some of the bad guys were like saying, "Okay, we're fine now that we have Catwoman to protect us." what the fuck is Catwoman going to do up against like the villains of Gotham all coming at her? You know, like
I don't know. There's probably a villain or two that would want to hang out with Catwoman.
Maybe even some sirens.
Oh.
Oh, and keep in mind, like it turns out one of the friends Selena has in her group, you know, the one that she broke out of jail, the one who's also teaching all these criminals to be better criminals. Yeah, she's also the daughter of Vandal Savage, who's working as a mole for Savage. So, yep, this this house of cards is going to fall down. We're about to see that happen. But anyway, yeah, that's it for Gotham War Part 4, Red Hood. I liked it. It was okay for what it was worth.
I got the there's this one cover where Jason just looks distraught and there's like a little like bird Selena and like Bruce like playing like devil and angel on his shoulder. I bought that just because the cover looks like a hilarious divorce hearing.
That's what some people are comparing this event to. It's like a nasty fight with your parents between Batman and Catwoman. You know?
Yeah. To be fair, those are Jason's parents. So.
Yep. But yeah, that's really how the issue ends. Alrighty, guys, let's move on to the next. I'll get this one. This is Contest of Chaos finale.
Oh yeah, you made me read the Deadpool one because Valentine was in it.
Yeah, it was also written by the same creator of Valentine, Alyssa Wong.
We love you. Come on the pod.
Yay. But anyway, in case the audience sees a premise, this is really just matches. This whole event or miniseries or whatever, it was just one match after another until Agatha, gathers all the winners and, kind of mind controls them to be her champions, And this is basically the Agatha's champions going up against the Avengers. Pretty straightforward. Nothing really meaty. Nothing really big story or plot driven wise. Agatha's whole purpose in this was actually to, I guess, gather enough chaos magic or energy or whatever to recreate the Darkhold book.
Yeah.
And of course, by the end, you have a direct fight between Agatha and Scarlet Witch. Pretty neat. It goes about the way you would expect a magic fight between two sorceresses to be going towards. And at the end, all the heroes that are controlled by Agatha, they get freed. They recuperate with the rest of the Avengers. They're licking their wounds, and the last 2 pages are really the meat of this book, which you have Agatha. She's washing up on shore in a beach. She's like, "Oh my god, what happened?" And she's greeted by a little boy. That boy is actually the Darkhold book turned into an actual being.
What in the hell?
Yep.
That's what this event was leading up to.
Pretty much. I would have been surprised, but I started noticing this is something Marvel's been doing with some of the objects of their comics. Like, remember, the Tesseract turned into a little girl. Thor's hammer was apparently female lightning. I'm trying to think, what was the most latest example? I know there was all the Infinity Stones. Each stone is now a person now.
Oh.
So yeah, now you can add the Darkhold book is now a sentient little boy now. So yeah, go figure.
Yeah,
I don't know where to. Yeah.
I was about to say I picked up the Avengers Annual for the sole purpose of I saw Johnny on the cover and I thought that Johnny would have one line. I got disappointed real bad.
Hey, I got Marvel 1000.
He was barely even fighting.
No, wait, I have an issue of Marvel 1000 that has Marvel in it. I think that same issue has the Fantastic Four in it. I can check and tell you later.
No, I bought it. I know that the Fantastic Four are on.
Okay, so I have Marvel, and that's the only motherfucker I cared about.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, Ash, I just bought this book just to see if I could get more content with Captain South Korea and White Fox.
Yeah, no,
because White Fox.
They're being put back into the pit with the rest of the
rest of
Agents of Atlas. No, just
Yeah.
specifically the Agents of Atlas, because why have like none of them showed up recently?
It's just sadly, well, as a book, they just didn't sell. Sadly, I don't know why, but if they
Jimmy
pop up in
Woo, though.
Jimmy Woo isn't like, oh, I need to buy this book because of Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, I
He's not that big of a
I
name.
would say the selling point of that book was Shang-Chi, Silk, and Amadeus all being on a team together.
Oh,
Those were probably the 3 big hitters.
Oh, and Luna Snow. I mean, she gave good advertisement. She had some
Luna Snow
movies.
was fantastic advertisement. I just think, because I remember, because she was introduced into Future Fight, and the people were mad, and I was like, I don't know why they're mad, but
I think part of the reason why you
was
can't
fun.
use I think part of the reason why you can't use Luna Snow as much is because since she debuted in the game, the developers or studio behind that game retain majority ownership of that character.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Yeah,
So
I just maybe again, I just think that the Agents of Atlas should just pop up, like, just, yeah, they don't need a solo book, but just let them appear in some things. Let
yeah,
Pearl.
same.
I'm specifically talking about Pearl, because she is the one of 2 Filipino characters I have, and I need, or one of 4 Filipino characters I have, and I need her back desperately.
Cool. But alright then. We have one more book to talk about, and which it's all you.
Yes, I can talk about this freaking I had Kennedy as trans, probably not trans. He's trans to me. Most likely autistic. He definitely has blue hair and pronouns, and he's basically Victor Frankenstein as a blue-haired boy. So I'm going to be talking about the first 2 issues of the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos from Dark Horse Comics, because I can. I do plan on getting more of it because there's in my box now. I'm just going to try to get all of the same covers because Nick Robles does a lot of the covers. And if you know me, I love Nick Robles. He draws all of the hot Marvel men. So you should know how I feel. Anyways, I'm just going to go through it. So it starts off with Christopher just like venting about his life to we don't see what at first, like, he's going through all the traumas that he saw that literal night. He literally saw blood everywhere, and he's like, oh fuck, I gotta go, I gotta fucking get out of here, but basically he sees the world in like this formula type thing, and he's trying to figure out what it is, and so that ends up with him creating chaos, hence his name, Christopher Chaos. He doesn't mean to do it, it just so happens, but no. So we see his backstory on like what it was like when he was born and all this other stuff. It's like this crazy shit happens at like the hairdresser and like at his friend's house where he literally causes a huge ass fire. I don't know. It's the thought that counts, I guess. And then like we see him in class, because keep in mind, he wants to try to fit in, but he actively avoids that by wearing a giant yellow jacket and has blue hair and red goggles. And he was writing all these like formulas and shit on a chalkboard, but this was supposed to be about Hamlet. No, not Hamlet. Was it Romeo and Juliet? No, it was Romeo and Juliet. Sorry. Sorry, my bad. And so yeah, he's talking to his crush / bully Hayden. He'll come back later. Don't worry about him right now. Okay, he's fine. Okay. And then so we actually see who he's venting to. He's venting to a pigeon. What was the pigeon's name? I think it was like Penny or something like that. We'll come back to Penny later. So we go back to Christopher leaving school. They're like cutting back from school and home. You get the gist of the idea. So we see him walking past the woods that he was told not to go into, And then he sees Hayden go into the woods, the creepy, scary woods, and we see a whole bunch of smoke going around. And guess what? I want you to guess. Guess what happens?
What?
You're supposed to guess, but okay. We see Hayden turn into a werewolf because why not? We need to have the old school Universal monsters back, okay? We got the werewolf, we got Victor Frankenstein. We'll get to Dracula later. Don't worry about him. So we see all the smoke come out, and we see these like weird hunters with like white cloaks and white hats and these chrome masks. It's like what all the rich influencers wear. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like the cybernetic stuff.
Yeah, that doesn't have like any face form. It's just shield.
Yeah, so Daft Punk.
Kind of, yes, but more gothic, I guess you could say, and in white.
Ah, gothic Daft Punk.
I'll send pictures later, or you could read it for yourself. But besides the point, so basically Hayden's like, "Yo, you can't do this. I'm just a kid," and all this other stuff, and he gets shot by all of these hunters, and is just dead with all his guts and such, like all over the place. So that's not fun. So obviously, Christopher ran. Because what would you do in this situation? Exactly. My point stands. So he runs home and he goes to his mother and basically tells her everything, you know, about like himself and everything. But guess what? That was a cop out. He didn't actually go talk to his mom. He's talking to a pigeon. You know? Mm-hmm. So like who is the White Hunters? We don't know. Oh, the pigeon's name was Peggy, by the way. I forgot. But don't worry. The pigeon flies off and gets immediately hit by a garbage truck. Oh. Don't worry. Christopher's eyes start glowing blue, and you know he takes Peggy to his room, basically the garage. And he's doing all the formulas that he was doing earlier. He's pulling some Victor Frankenstein shit, and some glowing blue light comes from the garage. A lot of his neighbors are trying to figure out what he's doing. You know, he's doing his mechanics thing, his science things. You get the idea. And he uses his powers to bring it back. But in turn, he gets this scar around his, like on his face from where the goggles were when he was wearing them. Like the bottom of the goggles, you can figure it out. You can have a visual. And so then he opens the garage, he comes out, and he's like, "Oh, hi, what's good?" And then everyone leaves being like, "Damn, just for a fucking pigeon? What the hell was I chilling out here for?" But, you know, Christopher don't care. He has his friend back, you know? We stand. We love it. So, it's the morning, you know? But that's where it ends. But we get an epilogue with some this guy who's kind of hot. He gets like this cool rope thing, and he sees the zombie pigeon, you know. And the thing I like about a lot of the indie brands, before I move on to the second issue, is that they have all of their ads for other books at the end of the damn book, and not throughout the damn book. Anyways, issue 2, which I didn't know that this specific issue was part of the same book, because when I saw it, it just said Dracula Boy on it. Now you see where I was talking about with the Universal monsters. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so it starts out in the city, which is called New Briar City, which, if you know me, there's a book named Briar from Boom Studios that I love, which you guys should go read. I'm Chris Cantwell. If you do anything right, bring this book back. Thank you. Anyways, we see some smoke. We see some robbers or whatever who wear these like bunny masks, like these bunny ski masks. You get the idea. You know, and this one guy who was just like taking a leak, I guess you could say, he gets back and he sees almost all of his homies tied up and dead, besides the girl, and she's just like, "Run, you fucking loser!" And he's like, "From what?" And then he's like, "What are you?" After he gets attacked, and then he gets double attacked by this vampire-looking motherfucker. Don't worry, we only see the fangs. Don't worry about it. So it cuts to the morning. And we see this detective lady. She's trying to figure out what happened. You know, as you do when you're trying to do your damn job. But these 3 dumbass officers, they're not actually doing anything. They're just standing there by the car, you know, being assholes. I'm like, fucking hell, we don't have time for your shenanigans. We don't have time for your misogynistic bullshit, you know? And it's like, yeah, your vampire, your Dracula comment might be correct, but the way you said it was not. I'm just saying. You know? But whatever. They leave. She's pissed off. I am too. And so we cut back to Christopher's school where they only think that Hayden is missing. They didn't actually see what happened, like I said, because he got shot a lot. Don't worry about it. So obviously, yeah, no, literally, if you see a picture of this, I'll send you a picture later. But it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. So going back to it, you know, obviously Christopher's there. He's like, I know what happens, but I can't really say what happened, you know, because no one will fucking believe it. But Hayden's parents are upset, and I don't know if this is the principal. I don't know who this guy is, but he's a faculty member. There we go. And he tries to call up Hayden's friend, but she just doesn't show up, which, same. I wouldn't either. I don't care. Why the hell would I care? I don't know this kid. Like, yeah, maybe Viv and Christopher do in some way, but I don't care about this kid. What purpose does he have to me? Anyways, you know, Christopher's going to his locker, as you do. And we see this one mysterious guy. I don't know if it's Yordi or Jordy. It's spelled Jordi. You figure it out. I'm just gonna say Yordi because I feel like that just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
So he's like, what happened to Hayden? He's like, I don't know. Like, Christopher's like, I don't know. And like Yordi's gonna like fight Christopher for no fucking reason. And then Viv pulls up and is like, yo, we ain't doing this shit. Like, come on, man. You know, it's like, and then Viv is like, can you put on some damn deodorant or use some soap, you know? Because if you know, you know. But if you don't know, yeah. Think that he just doesn't shower. But it's fine. Because then all three of them get detention. But since there was cameras there, the faculty member doesn't say detention. It's mandatory counseling. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's great. So cutting from the school to Christopher's house, his mom brings him food. It's I believe Thai. I think it's Thai. I don't fucking remember. But it's fine. Mm-hmm. It's good. So we see him pull a Hector from the original Castlevania series, which I'll talk about him another day, where he's bringing back all these dead animals, like all this roadkill that he finds, which, you know, to the average person, yeah, no, that would be fucking weird. Not gonna lie. Like, I know I'm weird, but there's a difference between taxidermy and whatever the hell Christopher's doing, you know? Like, I'm just saying, it's kind of weird. Anyways, we cut back to the detective lady, who I'm going to call Toombs, because that's her last name, and that officer guy, which I don't really care. It's like, yeah. And then we just cut to them, and we see these guys in, remember the Daft Punk looking mofos with the white cloaks and the white hats and the chrome masks? Yeah. Well, they're back, minus hats and cloaks, but they're still wearing all white. And we see this guy pull up, and he kind of reminds me of Integra from Hellsing. If you know, you know, but fine. And it's like, Toombs is obviously like, freeze, wait, what do you know about what happened, you know? But it's like, we're just trying to help out, you know? Like, I'm Johannes Hellwing, you know? Like, I'm like, with the Hellwing Corps, here's a letter for you, you know? Mm-hmm. And then it's like the asshole cop guy is like, yo, you heard the man, put down the damn guns, you know, like, I don't want to be dealing with these freaks. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. And so then Johannes basically sends all of his minions out, and they're going to do their thing, right? And so then we cut to later that night, where we see this one guy who kind of looks like a kind of bat looking guy without the cape, and more like Terry McGinnis, but not, because he has bat ears. It's kind of hard to explain his costume without getting too much into it, but, you know, go check out the book. You'll understand. Anyway, we see him on, like, a gargoyle-looking dude, looking at the thing, having his fangs out, you know? And so we cut back to Christopher. I know it cuts back to a lot of different characters, but that's, like, a lot of comic books, so expect it. So we cut back to Christopher going back into the woods, with Peggy, trying to figure out what happened. We see a silhouette of someone, and then he's gone because, classic horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
We see the salt and all that other stuff, and then he low-key gets attacked by this guy, which we find out is actually Jordy. It's okay, I'll figure it out later. Who is actually Dracula Boy. Like, it's Dracula Boy. I'm like in everyone's defense, that is kind of a dumb name, but we'll get back to that another day.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so they're trying to find out what actually happened to Hayden, because it's like, yeah, Christopher saw what happened, but he didn't do anything, so they end up talking about what happened, and we find out, and like we see the ghosts of the hunters, you get the gist. But we find out that Jordy and Hayden were actually friends because, they have the monster thing going for them. And they started a YouTube channel, which I would watch that YouTube channel, but since Hayden is dead, that wouldn't last too long. And so it ends off with this one guy in a white room with a cross on top of the TV with some truffle tree looking emblem looking thing. And then we see a black Bible with pink paper. And so then that's where it ends. Yeah, I really liked it. I have the third book in my box right now, so I need to get all of them because I love Christopher. He's a little mess, and I love him.
Mm-hmm.
That was the end of the first 2 issues. I haven't read the 3rd issue yet. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I try to go with it quickly because I know we were pressed for time, but I do recommend this book. I've been trying to read more indie comics. There's not a lot of Marvel or DC I want to read, so I'm trying to read some of the indies that interest me. And I knew that Nick Robles was working on a book, so I didn't know that he was only doing the covers. But hey, the covers are better than nothing. Everyone knows how much I love Nick Robles' art. Anyways, go read The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos, and then come back to me and tell me how you like it.
Hey, that's part of the fun of the comic reviews section here. We get to talk about the books that not many people would normally talk about,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially by those indie studios, which everyone should go support. If you get mad at Marvel and DC over, a very specific change that they have recently made, go read indie comics instead. I also recommend Radiant Black. Nick Ranger.
Ash,
you missed out on so many
Ash.
These guys talked about Radiant Black.
Ash, me and Austin, one of these days we're going to have a massive verse discussion, and you're going to need to be part of it, man.
I am not the massive verse representative that title does go to Nick Ranger, but I can try and contribute.
Wait, Ash, I have a question for you. Have you read Fence?
Not yet.
Oh my god! I talk about it with another person besides just me and Cryptid.
It's off my list. My massive. You don't want to see gay boys fencing? Technically, I read enough. I read Fantastic Four.
That's true. And Fantastic Four is pretty gay.
They fence and they play chess at the same time.
Gotcha. But anyway, audience, that was the night. Y'all want to plug in your socials before we end tonight? Again?
Oh yeah, I think that I do it first, and then we go with the guest. So, like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel, or I will send Christopher Chaos on your ass to send all of his animals to you. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You can also follow the Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69, and then you can follow the Instagram at Comic Fanatic 2.0. We do post things on there sometimes when I remember. You can follow me at Witch of Yoan on Twitter with an E instead of a U. Remember that. And then you can also follow me at wit_of_Jotunheim on both Instagram and TikTok. I literally just posted some new cosplay stuff on TikTok, and I plan on posting more art on Instagram. So go check those out. And yeah, go follow Ash.
Yeah. As always, I am Ash. YouTube Ash Danger. If you want to hear more in-depth discussions that definitely do not turn into the Omegaverse about Iron Man issue 10, Ash Danger is my YouTube channel. I also all of their social medias at H3YD4V3, otherwise known as Hey Dave. And I do a lot. I just posted more Johnny Storm cosplays.
I saw them.
I do a lot of comic book hauls. I would expect one this Wednesday in honor of Fantastic Four number 12, which everyone should go read because if who am I if not
Jake,
a Brian North certified Johnny Storm simp?
Jake, if you're still here, man, you better damn well read Fantastic Four this week.
Yeah,
That is your Phanatic challenge this week, man.
read Fantastic Four.
And go read Alpha Flight. I need
not
people to talk
submit to
about
the
this
pressures
book.
of Reed Richards. Never.
What if I tell you? What if I tell you that Reed Richards is a dinosaur in this one?
What did he do for dinosaurs? Did he kill them?
You'll see Reed Richards go extinct. How about that, Jake?
Exactly.
I want to see a bullet in his head. There you go.
Also, to promote a future live stream coming this week, if you want to talk about Castlevania Nocturne that just recently came out on Netflix, feel free to join me and Austin, hopefully, on Wednesday evening, and I will give you all of the reasons why you should watch the Gay Vampire Show. As the comic fanatic Castlevania stan, I will fight you on Twitter if you have bad takes, because I had to defend a specific Belmont from this one asshole. I will do it, but I will also give you good recommendations for games and explanations for characters and games as well, if you need it.
Cool.
Yes. So come join the live on Wednesday, please.
All right, yeah, but let's wrap this up. It's 2 hours.
All right, audience. That's it for tonight. See you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.